parts of the bodies all over the house, in places you wouldn't think. The funny thing is the heads have never been found. Hands and feet and things like that. But no heads.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the 13th podcast. It's your host, Mortis. And then we got Jacob and Andrew. We also have Corey, which is right here.
Corey, how's it going, man?
What's up, Corey?
Yeah, how's it going, Corey?
Corey's absent right now. He might be in, might not be in. Don't know. But we started the show without him. So tonight, guys, we are going to talk about the lovely Haunted Ohio, Part 3. Again, and then this is our last time. Number three. If you have three threes, then you have
Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity and the Holy Ghost. All right again. All right, guys, so we're going to sit here and talk about Haunted Ohio. We actually dove deep a little bit in the lovely state of Ohio. Thank you, Slack, so much for that share. Calm down. Other than that, guys, Haunted Ohio. There are a lot of paranormal experiences that happen in the state of Ohio that's been happening since the 1800s, 1700s. A lot of unknown things. A lot of people just don't talk about this shit. And there's reasons why they don't talk about it. It's because they want everything to be hush-hush. It's like the government. They just want everything to be hush-hush. But when it comes into the fact of the paranormal is real, guys. And it's out there. It may be different through your eyes, and it may be different through my eyes, but it's still out there, and it's not being talked about. The only news that we get from anybody in this world is politics, what's going on, and fake news. Well, guess what, guys? You're with the 13th podcast. We're going to tell you real facts that are happening here in our home country and our home state in the state of Ohio tonight on the 13th podcast. So tonight we're going to talk about not all the events that's happened in Ohio, because that would take fucking hours to talk about. So there's a few selected things that we have talked about. Andrew had the pleasure of last weekend. Was it last weekend that you went up to Williams County Jail?
Yeah.
Up in Bryan. He had the pleasure of going up there and investigating this old prison/jail or whatever the hell it was. And if you guys want to check him out, he's at the Undiscovered Paranormal on YouTube. He just posted two. You have 2 videos up now, or 3?
3.
3 videos up right now that are, one is during the investigation of him doing it, and then prior stuff to watch. Just get on his website, Undiscovered Paranormal, and just go check him out. So with the facts here in Ohio, I want to touch base with it real quick so we can just get it out of the way. Is the Wolfman. The Wolfman has been happening for a very, very, very long time. The more I dug deep into the Wolfman, which is now supposedly located in Germantown, but it's actually in other places in the state of Ohio. And I went back, and like Andrew said to me, it started up in Michigan. Well, it didn't just start in Michigan. It started in Canada. It started in Alaska. Yeah. It started everywhere. And supposedly this Wolfman is roaming around basically the whole fucking world. How do we know that? We don't.
It's another Bigfoot.
It's another Bigfoot thing that people were trying to create. So the more I read into it, is the more I was like, you know what? This shit's fake. It's not real. Maybe it is, but to my conclusion of the moral of the story is it's not real. So my roses don't mean anything. Oh, I just saw your roses. My fault. Slacks. Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for the rose. I appreciate you. You're such a sweetheart. So that's my subject on the Wolfman. Now the Hat Man. That's a whole different story. That's all around the world. There.
Hey, yo!
Yeah, you better tell him to
Go tame your wolf.
Yeah, go tame right in the lip. So I need to honestly change my settings for that because I didn't even get alerted for. Excuse me, fellers. There we go.
You'd always say the Wolfman could also be a skinwalker.
The Wolfman is supposedly a skinwalker, but you're not supposed to say supposed to say skinwalker. You're supposed to just say like walker or something. With the tribe that was in, I forget which tribe it was, but it's just you're not supposed to say it. It's like you have to respect it, even if it's real or not. It's just their
Crazy enough,
it's their culture.
This isn't about Ohio, but I had a kid come into my stream the other day, and he
What's up,
wanted to talk to me about skinwalkers, and asked if I had heard about it and how his family's
You said it
part
again.
of the tribe in Arizona.
Yeah.
Right? And he wanted me to come down there to his uncle's ranch. He's got like 200, 300 acres. He wants me to come out there and investigate the ranch for him and everything and actually show the evidence of it.
That'd be cool.
But it was the whole stream. That's all he talked about were skinwalkers. And then we started talking about bugs and how anyway. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool for somebody to come into a gaming stream and start talking about it.
What's up, man? Thank you so much for joining. When it comes to the skinwalkers, I kind of want to say, and I'm going to say it respectfully, it kind of sounds racist in a way towards Native Americans. So that's why I call it walkers. And if you look at it in the culture's perspective, it just doesn't seem right to say. You know, it's like we're calling them. But there's probably an actual word for it, which I haven't dove deep into it. But I wouldn't say it's fake, like the Wolfman. The Wolfman thing, dude, I don't know. But we also have a lot of Indian burial grounds here in Ohio, like Serpent's Mound. We have the mound here in Miamisburg. We have there's another mound that I was actually just looking up. But there's so many. So many spread out that we just can't touch, dig up. But when they shoot their sonars and shit to get like x-rays of these mounds, there's like bodies of all these Indians that were buried. So when it comes to the spiritual realm of Native Americans, I don't mess with it. I don't want to mess with it. That's a whole different spiritual thing to talk about. That's like talking about like Wiccans and talking about I don't deal with witches. I don't deal with like the religion aspect. I don't make fun of it, but I just don't deal with it because their stories go long before we were even thought of at all. So I just stick to the spiritual realm, which is the paranormal, the modern ghost of Ohio, and so on, and I just talk about it. Because I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's okay.
I don't know what I'm talking about, so I just don't do it.
There's so many different depictions on everything, too. You don't know which one's real.
No. With today's technology, it's hard to believe in what's out there and what's real and what's not real. Because you can't really say, well, I watched this ghost video up on YouTube and said that this is real. This is real because this video said it was. It's like watching TikTok news. I mean, it's just it's hard to believe in this stuff. But again, it is what it is. Here we are on the 13th podcast talking about the lovely haunted Ohio. So, again, are you guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. All right.
So actually, where I am right now, this is some of the stuff I've been researching for upcoming investigations for the outside. We have a mound here in like close to Middletown. It's actually in Trenton, I believe. It's called the Great Mound, which has actually had archaeological studies done on it, and it's overgrown now. It's like 800 feet in diameter and 20 feet high, or
Hey, thank you so much for sharing the life.
They haven't found any bodies. They have found bones, but they weren't human bones. They could have been sacrificial bones. They could have been dead animal bones, whatever. But there's also another one here in Butler County called the Enyart Mound. So, we have a lot of mounds. You have Rally Cern Mound, and then you have some in Miamisburg. Sunwatch Village has a mound, but yeah, the Native American mounds are many and far between.
It's scary. That's what it is.
Which, like, one of the topics I'm covering today is Helltown, which also used to be Boston Township up in northeastern Ohio, and it was made on a Native American and settler or Native American land.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. I was holding it in.
But it was
read
part
about that town. Like, I think it was a week or so ago. I read about that town.
Yeah, I wanted to do an investigation there. Somebody suggested it to me, but it was tore down in 2016. Like 2017, everything was demolished. Now it's part of a big national park up north. But some of the photos that have been taken there, or that were taken there, I'd like to show on stream just so you guys can get a feel for what it looked like. The town was founded in 1806, so Ohio was founded in 1803. So one of the oldest villages in that county and in Ohio itself. There's so many stories about Helltown. You can say folklore, or it goes miles during the Native American clashes that happened in 1782 to the 1800s, 1850s, all the way through that. You had the Non-Hunting Massacre of 1782, which it was built on top of, which was during 96 Lenape, which was a Native American group, were killed there by American militia. Satanic activity throughout that whole place. Now it's National Park Service took over some abandoned areas through eminent domain. So not the whole town isn't a national park, but it's still very illegal to go out there and do an investigation.
Yeah, they say like when it was even a thing. I remember reading about this back in the day because I wanted to go, not investigate it as a paranormal person, but to go with a group of friends. And I went with like 6 people deep in a Chevy Cruze, like back in like 2013, man. And we all piled up in his car, and we went to go look for Helltown. Well, the address that was given to us was not it, and we ended up in Mansfield. So
it's not far from there, though.
No, and that's the thing. We try to find it. We will rock you. Jesus Christ, dude. Cheyenne, thank you for the 10 lightning bolts. I forgot that I changed the sound every time someone gifts me, dude. It was it's Queen saying "We will," which scared the living shit out of me. Oh. All right, let's open this up real quick. So yeah, anyways,
this photo right here is what I remember. I think you showing me back in the day when you guys went to go look for Helltown, the road closed sign.
Yeah. So right here, what you're looking at right now is obviously a closed area, and this used to be an actual road that goes into Helltown. So when you go into this road, it ventures off into the woods. Since it's so overgrown, you have to walk about 1 mile to 2 miles to even get to this town. And then once you get into the town itself, it's they have these old abandoned buildings, and there was a lot of satanic sacrificing there. There was a lot of just a lot of how would I say it? Vandalism. There. Yeah. It was a very, very unsafe place to go because there was also, homeless people living there that could potentially like hurt you, kill you. But this town was just abandoned for no reason. Brooklyn just said, I watched the documentary on Helltown, which is crazy. Now, Brooklyn, what did you learn? Because I didn't watch no documentary. This is just me ranting off shit that I've read for the past few years. What did you learn about Helltown? Now, Andrew, you can continue before she answers and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. So the real reason why it was abandoned wasn't it due to like radiation or some kind of chemical leak?
Yeah.
I had thought at one point.
Well, you have the closest nuclear plant to us is 3 Mile Island over in Pennsylvania, Westchester, Pennsylvania. And they shut that. That had a meltdown, I think, in the early, say the 80s, 70s or 80s. Weird. So I don't know. I can't. I don't know much about Helltown, but the place was just like vacant. They just up and left, and there's so many. What was that? Was that your children?
Yeah, it's very unprofessional here.
It's okay. It's all right. But no, when it comes to hellhounds, I mean that's some scary shit too.
Yeah, hellhounds is crazy.
Well,
No, I don't believe.
You don't believe in hellhounds?
No, dude, I don't believe in that picture you showed me.
Oh, dude, that's real as fuck.
No, it's not.
Yeah, dude, that is terrifying. That is the most terrifying picture of a realistic hell. No, thank you. Now, so are these pictures of Helltown?
Yeah. Yeah, it's before everything was demolished, though.
Yeah.
So this right here is the abandoned bus, which used to be a huge attraction when you went to Helltown. Right in the beginning of it, that's one of the things people would first take pictures of, and start talking about, investigate. You had a bunch of urbex people going there, so people who discover or go out and explore things without being told they're allowed to.
Yeah. Now, this is the type of place that I would bring a Ouija board to. 100%. To see if these things are real. Because when a town is called Helltown, we already have a Hell, Ohio. But a place called Helltown that is abandoned in the middle of the woods, a lot of people think that, well, since it's abandoned, it's creepy, it's haunted. Why?
Right.
Why is it haunted? When you see a scary house on the side of the road, man, I bet you that house is haunted. Why?
I think it has to do more with like the atmosphere, like of the house, like the way it looks, like it's all like decrepit and old. Like usually people just immediately look at an old building and be like, it's haunted.
Yeah. I also have to think that Hollywood plays a big effect in that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Hollywood, with all these paranormal films that are out there, definitely take the paranormal world and expand it. So that's like why it's our job, the 13th podcast, to either prove you right or prove you wrong. It's real or it's not real. You get what I'm saying? So if it's, hey, what's up, Creepy Confidential? Thank you so much for joining in. So Hollywood just has a big effect in everyday lifestyle that we go through. Violence, romance, action. I mean, everybody thinks, oh, this might happen. Like, for instance, World War III supposedly going to happen. It's not going to be like Red Dawn, everybody. I'm waiting. I'm just like waiting for air raid sirens and looking out my door and seeing people parachuting down from the sky. Cool target practice. But that's a different thing. But just Hollywood takes a big effect in just in the paranormal aspect, because look at Exorcism of Emily Rose. That's based on a true story, but to make it better, they stretch it. They take an inch and they stretch it a mile. That's just anything when it comes with anything that we do in our life. But Helltown, I would literally go out there with a Ouija board and try my best to summon something.
All right, so tomorrow.
Sure. If I didn't have work, absolutely.
If I didn't have work.
If I did not have work, I would go out there right now with a Ouija board, even though it's tore down.
I would still like to go down there, just because you got to think there's something left on that land. If it was,
I'd like to go out there with a metal detector.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'd find a bunch of shit.
Yeah, a lot of.
We'd be billionaires.
No, we'd probably find a lot of nails.
Trillionaires.
There you
We
go.
could take the United States out of debt.
Yeah.
We could raise gas prices.
No, we lower gas prices. Like, all right. Hey, thank you so much, Creepy. Thank you for the gift so much.
Yeah, I just like the story of it. My mind is all kinds of.
It's cool, but are there any paranormal stories with Helltown? Or is it just a creepy town?
I've only heard speculation. I haven't actually looked into evidence of it, and I think it's due to the fact that it's very illegal. And I know people that have actually been thrown off of the land for touching the land.
But why?
Who knows?
Exactly what Creepy just said.
Urban
legends.
Yeah,
Sure, they're just legends, man.
Folklores.
Yeah, that's all it is. But that doesn't mean it's not real. That doesn't mean it's real. So it can be either or. I'm in the middle. I'm a skeptic. So, but when it comes to
like the mounds.
The what?
It's like the mounds. You know, we believe they're native burial sites or whatever, Native American burial sites, but we don't know if it's actually haunted or anything, or if it's something sacred we're not allowed to touch. Right?
Now, to get off subject just for a second, to Stonehenge, Easter Island heads. Nobody knows what they are. Nobody. Not a single soul. They just found this shit. Why did we build these pyramids? Why did we build these? Like, there's so much stuff out there that we think we know, but we don't. And then Creepy just said, or that may be start of from a small truth somewhere along the way. Yes. And then Brooklyn said the red burn is where they did rituals in Helltown. See?
The Red Barn?
The Red Barn.
Burn.
The Red Burn. I'm from Ohio. No, I know. It's.
Oh, she did mean barn.
Okay.
I thought she really did mean burn.
I did too. Maybe that was like our accent. You know, this daggone red burn over here.
Yeah. Just like oil.
Oil? Got any oil in your car? It's oil.
My boss says it.
Well,
He says it
oil?
like oil. Yeah.
Oil? Yes. DD said,
yo.
all I know is more people back where they... I can't read, guys. Back then were way more motivated than me, and I could not bother. Yeah, so, yeah, I get it. So, again, this is what we talk about. The stuff that we would do. But would we actually do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do it. Now, my first investigation that I went with Andrew up in Marion, Ohio, I didn't want to do it. For multiple reasons, too. It's because I didn't know what was going on. There were people living in this facility, and it just felt very uncomfortable walking around this place. And plus, I'm a big wimp when it comes to darkness. Thank you so much for the... Is that a corn? And a chili? Thank you so
Jacob,
much for that.
You're not going to go to Pennsylvania with me?
I don't know.
But wouldn't that be weird?
I have to call off work.
Yeah, hold on. Wouldn't that be weird? You've never met this kid in person. And just to get in a car?
Hey, get in the car. Let's go. We're going 4 hours up north, dude.
Yeah, sure. You're like, Andrew's Johnny Bold.
Hey, yo! Are we going to Silent Hill? That would be dope.
Bro, they're making a new one.
I can't wait.
I know. Yeah, I'd go to Silent Hill. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Nope. Not happening.
Yeah,
It's not happening.
I'm down.
So
I'd
to
like
touch
to touch-
base back into the paranormal aspect.
Them nurses were hot.
Some of them had bodies. They were nice to look at. Doylestown in Wayne County, Ohio. You guys heard of it?
I have not. I've heard the legend of Sleepy Hollow,
Which is in
but
Buffalo.
I didn't know that Doylestown was
Well,
considered.
it's not in Buffalo, but it's in New York. But yeah, Ohio has its own urban legend of a headless horseman. In Doylestown, Wayne County, Ohio. So this dates back all the way back into the 1800s, where supposedly you can find huge snakes, and including the devil himself. The legend is basically exactly kind of like the legend of Sleepy Hollow in New York, where, well, this story is a little bit different though. So it doesn't really say much about the person that was on the horse, but it says that this horse ran. Like, if you guys don't know much about horses, I know a lot about horses. When a horse, and Agent knows this, I know a lot about horses. When a horse gets spooked, it's called bolting. When his horse bolts, it gets tunnel vision and hauls ass. It doesn't look left, doesn't look right, it doesn't look anywhere. It just goes. So this horse took off in the early 1800s. Something scared it. Ran as fast as it could right into a fucking tree. Snapped his neck, ripped the head off completely. Boom! So when, I guess, this person found this horse, they buried this horse right underneath this tree. So some odd years later, supposedly there was back in, and it says right here, the ghost of the headless horse is now seen in this area. Headless horse. Not a headless horseman, headless horse. Now picture that. You're walking down this path, and you see something charging at you, and it's a fucking horse with no head. No bueno.
Walk out.
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
So, around 1890, a gentleman decided to check out the legends of the Rogue Hollows, which is what this legend's called. The horse suddenly stopped. He looked around in the sky in disgust and saw a glowing red eyes in the tree above him. Well, then, all of a sudden, what appeared to be the devil himself, the horse began to go, and again, as the gentleman looked back and he saw a creature crawl back into the tree, and this person got sucked into this tree. All right, so now you have a headless horseman. You have another person that got sucked into this tree, or something happened to this bug. I think what happened, Code Brown, yeah, absolutely terrifying. So apparently, what I think what happened, I think somebody got murdered at this area, and they took their body and they shoved it underneath this tree, where the horse was buried back in the 1800s. And then 90 years later, this horse in Doylestown, Ohio, now they see this creature, this thing, this legend roaming around in the woods, the Headless Horseman. No, he doesn't carry around a giant sword. No, it's not Christopher Walken from Sleepy Hollow. This is not the original one, but this is Ohio's urban legend of Sleepy Hollow. And till this day, the tree is still up, and the legend continues to live on, and people still see this entity within maybe a millisecond corner of your eye from your peripherals and stuff. You just see, or you hear horse runnings, or you hear a horse neighing, or galloping, or excuse me, I'm trying to burp, but it's like stuck in my throat. But it's just terrifying itself, because it's like, just imagine you walking through the woods, going on a hunting trip by yourself in the middle of the morning, or when it's dark, and you see a headless horse with a man riding this horse charging at you.
We should take a road trip.
Should take a road trip.
Road trip.
That's a road trip. Because when it comes to that, man, that's just, if there's satanic stuff into it, you know damn well people are going there and trying to investigate it. And apparently there's not miners, but actually like digging miners. Coal miners and stuff. They see spirits of them roaming around Doylestown and stuff. But nothing crazy. But the biggest word that I see is the devil. It's always the devil, which I don't believe, because I
don't really see what the devil would have to do with a horse running into a tree.
I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. I think it's just a story that somebody told their grandkids when they were little to scare them, and then the legend lived on.
Little campfire story.
Little campfire story. But dude, those campfire stories seem to be real at times. That are just like, whoa, dude, that's not good. It does sound like an urban legend. But apparently, people still see this horse roaming around in the woods. I'm not about that. So if
We
you
should
have,
definitely take a trip up there.
be good. It's
100%.
the Doylestown, Waynes County, Ohio. Guys, look it up. Go to just type it in, Doylestown, Wayne County, Ohio, and it's called the story's called Rogues Hollow. It's definitely a different thing. The one thing that I won't do is snakes. Oh, snake! I don't deal with some snakes. I don't like snakes.
You don't like snakes, Heather?
No.
Why not?
They're just the devil. I just
don't want
don't.
snakes?
I don't want to mess with them.
Devil.
They're cool looking. Just don't mess with them.
They're like worms.
No, yeah, I don't. See, I can mess with worms, but worms are disgusting.
That's me and clowns. Clowns are cool.
Clowns are cool, Sarah. Don't make me bust my clown mask out. But yeah, I mean that's what I got with the decapitated horse. I think that's pretty creepy. They didn't say what type of horse it was. I'm assuming it would probably be like a Tennessee Walker, but like when it comes to like the headless horseman itself, I mean you can get like a Frisian. Those are big ass horses, dude. Some big ass horses, and those are just map in black. What do you mean creepy? Map in black. I want to mess with that. If I see a horse with no head, dude, I'm gonna kick it right in the hoof as hard as I can.
There's a horse. It will trample you, guy.
Nuh-uh. No.
It is a horse. It will run you over, dude. If you're like getting hit by a bus, dude, it will run you straight over.
The guy in the top left was looking at a map. Yes, so he was looking at the haunted. I forget what the map's called, but it's like $15 online, and it shows you all these locations of UFO sightings, Bigfoot, serpents, mounds, paranormal experiences stuff, and it's located. It is, yeah, yep, that's exactly what it is. J.R. Craig's map, and I got. The lovely Haunted Ohio. This book is pretty cool, and I've read a few things with it, but I actually never really got down and read it yet, which I'm really excited to read.
I need to read a book like that.
They're cool, man. And that, yes, absolutely, yeah, dude. These I didn't know there's like 6 of these books, man, and they.
It's one.
Yeah, they're not that bad. They're like $12. So I mean, I got the Cincinnati, since that's where we're located, Cincinnati, Dayton area. The creepy confidential library is vast. It's right. What do you mean by that? I'm not even going to agree. What do you mean by that? Oh, Columbus, cool. So you're not too far from us. That's awesome. That's wonderful. And then I know Creepy Confidential. We should definitely do a collaboration one time and do an episode together. That'd be fun. Because I listen to a lot of your TikToks, so I definitely appreciate you tuning in and stuff and getting my message.
We should definitely collab.
Mm-hmm. Now, Jacob, what do you have?
What do I have?
What do you have?
I got you. So for me, I
Thank you so much.
There's this place in I think the place is called like Saddamsville.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Cincinnati. It's called Sleeper's Hill. And it's basically a hill, that a guy lived up on. He was a hermit that lived on top of the hill back in the 50s. And he hated like anybody that trespassed on his property. Like anybody, like kids, he would chase them off of his property either with a shotgun or an axe. And their kids' parents would tell them to stay off the property, and you know what happens whenever parents tell their kids to not go somewhere.
Yeah.
They're gonna do the exact opposite.
Absolutely.
And they're gonna go right back.
Yep.
So I also read on another website that there have been sightings of bodies near the property.
Like,
of the kids that went on his property.
I had a code brown.
it's okay. So
But
did
then-
Sarah.
Uh, so, apparently he'd hung himself in his barn at the top of the hill. So, legend says, they can see his ghost roaming the property, sometimes still chasing people off of his property even after he took his own life.
Yeah.
They'll see like his spirit kind of roaming the property and whatnot. And that's basically all I've got.
Absolutely, Sarah. Now, so when it comes to this guy, why was he such a hermit? Like, what made him such a hermit, though?
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't. Is it like Monster House in a way? Like the hermit in a house,
Yeah, he didn't like people on his land.
just killed kids.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
He was like, if they're not gonna learn
I'm gonna
by their
kill 'em.
parents, I'll teach them.
You ain't getting spankings around here, boy. You're getting a shotgun and an axe. No, dude, that's fucked up. That's that's messed up. Now, I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, that sounds a little bit more believable than the headless horse.
I think the property's still up, but they built houses around it, so like you kind of have to find a different way up there. But the property's still standing to this day. Like people still go up there.
And where is it at again? Cincinnati?
Yeah, at Saddamsville. I'll have to look up its location. But
I wonder what the house looks like.
I have no idea.
Probably a house.
I can pull up here. I can.
Oh,
show
has
my
a door.
screen.
Probably a what?
There,
Probably has a door.
here's like
Maybe.
the only picture that anybody's got of the property. It's just this right here.
Huh.
That's it. It's just this little fence, a few trees, and what looks to be a somewhat overgrown path up the hill.
Huh.
And that's it. That's the only picture on here.
I wonder why though. That's
I don't know.
road trip.
We'll have to go up there and find out for ourselves.
Yeah.
See if Mr. Sleeper doesn't like us being up there.
So his name's Mr. Sleeper. I honestly think that is in the book.
His name's Sleeper, I think. I think his
Let me
last
see.
name was Sleeper or something.
I just
Old
seen-
man sleeper. Yep.
Old Man Sleeper.
Let's see.
Yep.
Let's see.
You seen if it's in the book?
Yeah, because I remember seeing something about Old Man Sleeper.
Did you know that Ohio has all kinds of like paranormal like meetups,
No, explain.
like conventions and stuff?
that I
Like
knew.
you have Parapsychon up there in Mansfield where the prison is,
Mhm.
and then you have Monster Fest, which debuts all the monsters that have been said to be found here in Ohio, which is in Canton. There's another one in Canton. I can't remember what it's called, but I got invited out to it in May. Monster Fest is in June. I got invited to one here in Middletown with POV Paranormal. That's actually takes place in the beginning of March, where we have the Windermere, which is a huge
Yeah, I've been
banquet hall.
I've been there.
They have the Windermere, and then there's another building that you investigate. It's a group investigation, but it has all kinds of like guest speakers and the rocks or crystals or whatever. I don't believe in crystals, to be honest with you guys. I don't believe in psychs or mediums. That I don't like that stuff. I don't believe in it. I think it's all propaganda and a way to make money, to be honest with you. But it has like 100 different vendors coming to all these events, and I did not know any of that. I mean, Middletown's my hometown, and I didn't know that there was an actual like 20th anniversary this year.
You might
of
meet Hamiltucky.
this. Hamiltucky should be there, but there's two main groups doing the investigation.
But before
it's
you
20
go.
per person.
Brooklyn said Mothman. That's in West Virginia, Pleasant.
West Virginia.
Yeah, but it's also in Ohio, close to Point Pleasant.
Post Town is one of our dream locations to investigate as a team. Unfortunately, they're all about the money and not the investigation. So they upped their prices once again this year, and it's getting harder and harder to do. We will be doing it. It's just
In time.
finding the time to do it.
Yeah.
Same with
Mansfield.
the Mansfield. They upped their price to $31.20.
Here's the thing, and I'll be honest with you, I don't want to do it.
I don't think I would ever pay that.
No, it's not.
I'm out here to investigate. I'm not out here to make money in your pocket.
I mean, and I get the aspect of paying people and doing it because it's their property and stuff. But when it comes to Mansfield Prison, it's such a high located location,
It's absurd.
and everybody's done it. Literally everybody. It was Mansfield. No,
It's insane how
It's,
many people actually go there.
we could do a group field trip to the Mothman Museum, which is in Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yep.
But with Mansfield, you have Tri-State Paranormal that runs that investigation and runs all the history behind it and everything, which has reached out to us before to do an interview on the podcast. But the actual like daytime investigation, group investigation, tour, whatever, that would be cool to put on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
And it is cheap.
Yeah. When it comes to the podcast itself, I'd rather interview these people than do the investigation. Now, when it comes to going out and doing, the Undiscovered Paranormal and the 13th Paranormal and going out there and investigating, I'd rather do that with YouTube videos other than a podcast, because a podcast is more so of talking, communicating, getting information, and doing interviews, not investigating. You know what I'm saying? It'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's why it was cool last weekend when Andrew popped in when he was doing a live investigation, just to show you guys how boring it really is. Because it does get
Yeah, if you go to my video, that's 8 hours of shit cut down into an hour and 18 minutes with some add-ins.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was to play the whole 8 hours for you guys, you'd have been like, I'm done after 5.
It gets boring.
It is boring. It is very time consuming. But the experience, if you're there, is well worth it.
Absolutely.
Just online, it's not.
What do you got, Andrew?
I wanted to go over, since paranormal isn't just...
Pause. Show that map real quick. Because Creepy Confidential knew exactly what map that was.
Stupid ass fuck. Get out.
Mike, I'm sorry. There you go.
There's the map.
Look at all those black little squares.
Dude, that's a lot of places. Holy shit.
And that's just not paranormal. That's...
The back of the map actually tells you what each thing is and what the history is behind it.
Yes.
So if you flip it to
I
the
have to
back,
buy me this map, fellas.
Yeah, I need the map. I'm honestly going to buy it right now during this podcast.
it shows you all the monsters that have been sighted in here, or in Ohio, supposedly sighted. Shows you each haunted building in the northeast and south and west of Ohio and all that bull crap. It's all fake. It's all fake.
It's not fake.
It's all a lie.
It's all a lie, guys. Yeah, so Andrew, what do you got, bud?
I got a snake in my boot.
Hey, thank you so much for joining in, bud.
No,
And-
but that's one of the reasons why we're kind of ending the Haunted Ohio. Because if we were to just stay on Ohio, we would do this podcast for years with just Ohio itself. But that goes for any state. Because paranormal is just not ghosts and demons. It's anything unexplained.
Well, that's the hidden Ohio map, right?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, there's been books upon books made about haunted Ohio. So one of the things I would like to hit on is Alaska. One of the places I would love to investigate is Alaska. But, just this weekend alone, I should have done an investigation for my page, but we got 30 feet of snow here in Ohio. I can only imagine what our 3 inches of snow would look like in Alaska right now. And I drive a Cadillac. It doesn't do too well in the snow or rain.
You said 30 feet of snow. Don't get me wrong, that was a lot of freaking snow.
Like, I could see 30 feet in front of me, and that was it.
The map maker puts a Frogman Festival as well. Really? Frogman Festival.
Yeah, and that's the back of the map tells you, like, that's where I got this smalltownmonsters.com. I didn't even know there was a monster like meetup for this stuff.
It's coming up in March.
No, it comes in June.
The Creepy Confidential said it's coming up in March. The Frogman Festival.
Oh, okay.
Frogman Festival. The Loveland Frogman is a wild story. That's a whole different aspect. Yeah, I don't do that. So, anyways, what were you saying, Andrew, about what you had?
Do you believe in Sasquatch?
No. No, I don't.
I had to think about that one.
You wouldn't say people in the woods in a ghillie suit is Sasquatch?
Wait, what'd you ask?
Too much time passed, I forgot.
So you're telling me... No, I'm not. I know you don't believe in it.
No, I don't believe in Sasquatch, dude. There's just I believe there's I believe there is those big there's big feet, not Bigfoot. How do you get 7,000 views of Bigfoot in one day in 65 states and there's only one Bigfoot? And 50 states. It's crazy. That only explains that it's big feet.
You like find their nest one day, just a super deep cave, just
sitting there feeding each other bodies. Hey, yo, what's up, feetsies? Can I be a foot?
No.
I would love to do an investigation of the Moonville Tunnel as well.
Explain that.
Moonville Tunnel is a kind of like creepy. A pioneer's tunnel. It was a old railroad tunnel that supposedly had killed some men on the railroad that was working on it. And it's said that if you do the investigation that you will see somebody sitting there with a light waving it around. There's been many deaths in there, not just from the train killing them, since it's no longer a railway, just where mass murder has happened because it's such a secluded place where you could just take somebody into a tunnel and do whatever with, right? But I mean, Jeanette Quakenbush, which is a huge renowned author here in Ohio, who strictly does investigations on the paranormal outside, has ran many group investigations in the Moonville Tunnel, and there's never been a time where they didn't catch at least an EVP or an apparition some within proximity of the tunnel. But what many don't know is there's a tunnel not too far away from Moonville. It's like maybe 1.5 miles away from Moonville that's actually hidden, that's not main named, that has barely been discovered or investigated, that worse things have happened there. I can't say it exactly what's happened because I haven't done all my investigation, because I want that episode to be an episode that is going to, be part of the undiscovered paranormal, something that hasn't been discovered yet, other than the few people that might know about it. But that's over in Amish country.
I've been up there before
in Ohio. So it's small towns and Amish everywhere. You've got Jewish cemeteries everywhere. down there. So there's a lot of paranormal activity that goes up there near West Virginia that I would love to take a week and do a whole thing about. But you also have that in Mansfield. There's so many things in Mansfield that's supposedly haunted. It's just like we said, this stuff does cost money, and to find the free stuff, you're obviously going to run into a lot of interferences with it, which is why I'm so skeptical of doing the outside paranormal things. Because even with doing the inside investigation we did with Mandy and them, there was so much interference with that could have cost us a whole bunch of evidence that we couldn't even catch.
Yeah, because like a lot of the stuff that we recorded, there were some questions behind it, but then it's like, well, dude, there was also people living in this location still, and they were there.
Oh, great beard.
And it wasn't what we thought it would. The experience was fucking amazing.
We had a good time up until like the middle of the investigation. Then I was like, I'm ready to go, because you couldn't do a professional or a learning you couldn't do a learning investigation on your first investigation with people constantly interrupting or thinking they were mediums.
Well, I'm gonna join you.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
And then the fact that the person was knocking on the walls as soon as we asked a question, just so we could, like, it's not a joke. Like, if we're doing an investigation, you invite us out there to do this investigation, don't interfere with us while we're doing this, because if you want to make sure that this shit is not real, or you want it to be real, then let us do our job, and for you to respectfully fuck off. Please.
Yeah.
Leave us alone. You know, if you want to make fun of us after we leave. Don't make fun of us when we're there. That's all we ask.
Yeah,
Thank you, Michael.
I had a woman reach out to me hey, yo, Code Brown. She reached out to me last weekend before I went up north, and she asked me if I could investigate her house for her, because it's 200 years old. She just done a bunch of remodeling or whatnot, and she's got an old barn, and she thinks that it might be haunted. And I said, do you live in this house? Yeah, me and my 6 kids live here. And I was like, no, I won't.
See, I would, if they go get a hotel for the night and let us go there, that'd be fine. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I asked. And she said, if you would pay for it. I said, I'm not Ghost Adventures. I'm not tapped.
I'll pay for a hotel if there's legit evidence. If some person, well, hold on. Sarah said, well, I'll answer your question here in a second, Sarah. If a person reaches out and says, hey, I have something going on at my house. Okay, well, we're going to do an interview over the phone or over like Discord or whatever thing we use, and then we're going to talk about it. And if it seems legit, then yeah, I will literally spend like no more than $150 for this person to stay in a hotel to make sure that they are safe for the night. And then to let them know, it's Pop, and to let them know that, hey, we're going to be inside your home. We are going to be safe. We're not going to be stealing from you. Everything's going to be recorded, and then go from there. I want y'all to do my house, but my husband said no. I will bring a fucking Ouija board in your house. If it's actually haunted. 100%. 100%.
Well, that was the problem. I said, what evidence, what makes you think your place is haunted? She's like, it's just 200 years old. I just want you to take pictures for me, and maybe you'll catch something. I was like,
no. Ain't happening.
If I ever go up north, because it was up by Indiana or whatever. I said, if I'm ever up there, I might stop by and do some pictures for you, but I'm not going to do a full-blown investigation while you live there. No. I can't do it. I can't.
Again, I don't mind if you live there, but I'm not gonna say like, well, my house is just old. So are a lot of houses. So Sarah said, to answer her question, have you ever tried New Burlington near Cedar Creek? You ever heard of that?
I'm looking at it right now. It used to be a village.
Oh,
It's where New Burlington Methodist Church is, and it's supposedly one of the top spots for paranormal activity
That's not
in
far.
Waynesville
And that's not
or
far.
near Waynesville. Yeah, it used to be New Burlington, Ohio.
Yeah. Huh. You know, Caesar's Creek is a man-made creek. Well, river,
New Burlington, the life
lake.
and death of an American village. It's all bulldozed.
Yes, it's still there.
87-year-old man that lives there.
She said it's still there. Little cement areas. See, that's not far. That's like 15 minutes away from me. Maybe 20, depending on traffic. See, that'd be an interesting thing to go out and do and stuff like that. I wanted mine to go.
They just came in, broke the village, and
Thank
tore it
you,
down
Queen
and
Teeth,
made,
for the gifts.
made it into Caesar's Creek.
Was it in
That's
Caesar?
just rude.
Is
dude.
that where they flooded it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So New Burlington was flooded to make Caesar's Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of farmers I know lost ground that would never be underwater, but at the same time, I think the state had this idea that we would use it in the future for recreational purposes.
Looks like we're going deep diving, fellers. I wonder why they restricted it though. There's always a reason. Do they pay their taxes? Oh no, you're cool. That's the whole point of sending the gifts. It scares the shit out of me every time because it's so freaking loud.
It kept flooding, so they redirected it. That's crazy.
And they just said screw it. Yeah, there's a whole town underneath Caesar's Creek. Caesar's Creek is freaking deep. It is massive.
Oh, there's an actual town image.
Really? Pop it up.
of it
Let's see it.
before it
Yeah, dude.
went away, before it got flooded.
Yo.
This is what used to be at the store that was in the town. Half quart Coke for 7 cents each is crazy.
Half quart. A quart.
Milk. 4 12 fluid ounce bottles of milk for 69 cents.
God.
Cornstalk College.
I'm not trying to laugh.
You just did.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Dude,
Oh my
that's,
god, dude.
that's crazy. So that's the aerial view of the town?
Yeah.
When was Caesar's Creek made?
1978, I believe.
Holy shit. So recent. Well, that's close to 50 years ago.
Yeah.
This is March 1969 right here of the village.
Man.
That's insane.
Did you all talk about Woolly Burger? What's Woolly Burger? Jesus. So I knew about the town, but I didn't know there was pictures of it. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I don't know what Woolly Burger is.
Never heard of it.
Never.
Is that a woolly mammoth burger? Meat straight from the Smithsonian?
The Haunted Cemetery. Did you say
fishing lure?
Woolly booger.
Woolly Booger? It's literally booger. No, never even heard of that.
The
Yeah,
ghosts of
me
Ohio
neither.
have yet to find any concrete evidence of anything in this cemetery.
There you have it. Not all cemeteries are haunted. But that's the thing. A lot of people think that, well, since it's a cemetery, it's going to be haunted. That's not the case. So I heard a story of that cemetery up in Dayton. I can't even think of it, where the Wright brothers are. But there's a story where there is a man that was a poet. And I'm going to find this because it's not too far away. I'm not going to find it right now, but I'm going to find this cemetery. And Dee Dee said that there's still people that sacrifice animals there on Halloweens and things. But I just think that's just people going out there and just being rude to animals. But that's just because it's a cemetery. A lot of people
I don't know if the art of summoning is factual or not.
We can try it.
Yep.
On Pork Chop.
Hey, no, not the pig, the cat.
No, not the cat.
Leave Pork Chop out. You can take the cat, but Pork Chop, he's out of the question.
Solid.
You know what they say about pigs?
They taste good when it's applewood.
No. No, but anyways, so there, can't even think of the cemetery, dude. Woodland Cemetery up in Dayton, Ohio, where the Wright brothers are. There's this poet that I guess died. Obviously, he's in the cemetery now, and his ghost. Every evening, the workers see this man sitting on his tombstone playing his guitar, and the person goes up to the person playing the guitar and says, "Hey, man, we're closing." He's like, "All right, I'm heading out." So as the dude turns around, walks away, turns back again, dude's gone. Just like that. What would you do if you're on grave shift and you walk up and you see a man playing guitar? Hey man, you gotta get out of here. All right. Turn around, start walking away, turn around again, he's gone.
I'd just be confused.
I'd be like,
well, there's not much you can do. I mean, he's gone. What are you gonna do?
I mean, yeah, you asked him, so.
You asked him to leave and he's gone, so what are you gonna do?
It's like my parents. Why'd you look at me like that? Why'd you look at me like that, though?
Because I know your parents. Tina said, did y'all know people say pigs have souls of the demand in them? I did not. Damned. No, I did not. There's certain animals that get sacrificed that are like pigs, cats, dogs.
Go outside and have a deep talk with Pork Chop.
Goats. Yeah, I was saying goats. I was listening to him. But the thing is, man, it doesn't make sense to me. Why are you? Well, what gets you to the point to Michael Myers an animal, slit their throat, let the blood drain out, and then all of a sudden summon the devil? I don't think the devil's ever going to show itself. Ever. I don't think that's even a thing. That's like when we had this conversation a few months ago, me and Andrew. Why is it always devils? Why is it always demons? What about angels? Why can't we summon angels? Why can't
The crazy thing is, the person we did the interview with and asked, an actual investigation group, said, I think I've dealt more with angels than I ever have with demons.
Bullshit.
And I was like, but I've never seen it. On any of your shows, I've never seen you say that was an angel that came. I've always heard it's a demon.
Bullshit. And a lot of people say, and it happens all the time, when you are in danger or something's happening, and all of a sudden the danger just goes away, an angel saved me. My guardian angel was there for me. How do you know that? It says, how do you know an angel entity came and saved you? Well, I saw it. No, you're losing your fucking mind because your serotonin, whatever the hell that shit is in your brain, pouring into your brain while you're dying. You're hallucinating, dude. Have I ever went through it? No. Do I want to go through it? No. Do I want to experience it? Yes. DMT. That is the only way a lot of people to say that, I mean, I would never in my life do that. That when it comes to like Sylvia or like DMT and stuff, they get these visions in their heads and stuff. It's because you're just a little wacko. Did you watch The Death Show on Netflix? I have not. I try to stay away from death. I see a lot of death when I get on my Instagram, and I don't know what's wrong with my Instagram. I don't even like stuff like that, and it's people getting decapitated or limbs getting ripped off, and it's like, I just look up paranormal stuff, and you're showing me someone getting their head chopped off by a freaking train. How does that make sense? I want to know about the death after the death, the afterlife, not the before life. I don't want to see that. But I don't know. I think this is just all weird. It's about the afterlife. You know, I'll check that out, DD, 100%. It's called The Death Show. That's a good recommendation. Thank you so much for that. But when it comes to the state of Ohio, and it just goes on and on, all through the world, Jahar Jarpi in India, me and Andrew figured that out talking to some Indian people on Omegle before it got shut down. What the fuck's that? That's weird. And it was weird, Jacob, that when we kept on asking these people about Jahar Jarpi, they want nothing to do about it. Next,
They
immediately.
look at you and it's like, hey, yo.
No, boom, next.
It's like summoning a demon in their house.
It was not a good thing to talk about. But apparently there's these 3 kings that they built this kingdom for something, and they died there, and a lot of people... It was a fort, yeah. And people were getting like assaulted there by these spirits, harmed, hurt, missing, people dying in this area. So Jahar Jarpi is just a strange thing that we accidentally came upon.
In India.
In India. We were talking to Indian people. Because at first we were just sitting here making fun of them because they were making fun of us. And then sometimes you get some cool people. And when we were messaging these people, they're just like, we were telling them who we are and blah, blah, this and that. And this man was just like, yo, like, you ever heard of Jahar Jarpi? Nope. Never even heard of it. Never even heard of that fucking word. And then we start looking into it, and then he nexted us, and then we start asking more and more of these the Indians, man. And we start like being a little bit more respectful towards their culture. So, you know, we say like assalamu alaikum, salaikum salam and stuff, and they'd be like, oh, cool, these guys are cool as hell. And they give me the middle finger, which is hilarious. I'd be like, assalamu alaikum. They'd be like, oh, yeah, fuck you. For no reason. But they just, like, when we brought up the Jahar Jarpi, man, they just shut their mouth and nexted us. And they said, don't go out after dark. I remember that. But again, when it comes to the paranormal, it's everywhere. And it's not even in the state of Ohio. It's everywhere. So there's a reason behind it. And this is where I get away from being a skeptic in a way, where I kind of contradict myself, where there is a reason why the paranormal is a thing. Someone saw something. There's stories that we have no idea what to explain. There are some people out there that think it's just a coincidence. It may be just a coincidence, you know, of something happening. But there's always a reason for something. It's called Surviving Death on Netflix. Y'all check that out. Like last night, I just got back from the comedy show. I had a basket on my washer and dryer, pushed all the way back. There is no way in hell it would have fell off. I leave my room, go into the laundry room, it falls right on the ground. I sat there for a second. I was like, that don't make sense. That don't make sense at all, because there's no strong enough wind draft to just shove it off the thing. So I did exactly what I usually do. Okay, turn the light off, I'm fucked off. I didn't want to deal with it. I usually don't deal with it. I block it out. Because it's like, you ain't doing this to me, Satan. I'm not doing it. Dee Dee says there's a doctor on there that didn't believe in anything but science, but something happened to her, which is those people like that I want to talk to. The people, and this is another weird thing at the comedy show. Ryan Stickler, he asked these people, us, in the show, if you died and came back, tell me your story. Nobody responded. But literally, in this, for the 7 people that's watching, or people that are coming in and out and stuff, if you have physically died and came back, you better get a hold of us. I want to hear
proof.
We need proof that you physically flatlined, died, boom, just like that, and came back and you saw something. Let me know. Let us know.
I've seen stories about like shit like that on. I remember watching a YouTube video on it like 5 years ago, and I still remember the video to this day. I don't remember what it's called, but it was some old guy talking about like
Is it about
he
the books?
died. I don't know, but I don't remember. It was so long ago. But he talked about how he died, and he went to hell, and like in the video he was talking about like there was a long ladder. But he tried to climb up the ladder to get out of hell, but like the devil was like hitting him, so it kept knocking him like off the ladder. I
don't know.
I could just be crazy, but I remember watching that video on it.
Sarah said, I won't tell you here, but yes, coded while I was having Caden, which is her son. Mom begged me and brought me back. That's a story that I want to talk to you about off the thing, and then if you feel comfortable enough, maybe we can release it onto this stuff. But I'd love to hear everybody's story and what happens, because that's the question that everybody asks, and a lot of questions that we're worried about on where we go, because this is no harsh thing about religion whatsoever, and I'm not saying anything bad about it, but this is why a lot of people have faith in religion in their life, for a big old safety blanket to comfort them, to make sure that they are safe and they know where they're going to go, which is completely understandable. I don't judge you for that. We don't judge you for anything of that. That's just what you believe in, and that's what we respect you for. So there are billions of people out there in the world that have a different story. But what's really weird is when you have a billion people that have the same story. That's the question to ask. Because once everybody starts having the same story afterwards, then the answers start getting answered. But to touch back into the state of Ohio, there are probably over 1,000 things to look into Ohio. The paranormal aspect the paranormal atmosphere is so thick in this fucking world. We can talk about this for days, months, years, and it will never end.
I think that kind of supports what I was talking to you about at the tattoo shop. Like that website you told me about that's got all the paranormal shit on it. You could scroll for hours and hours, and there's so much shit on there that they have, like paranormal shit on there that they have documented on that website.
Yep. Well, that just shows that there's something out there, even if you don't believe it or not. They don't just write this shit down to scare you. Excuse me. They saw something. Mm-hmm. They experienced something. And it's like touching back into Bigfoot. Somebody saw something. It may not be what we're thinking Bigfoot is, but somebody saw something. Same thing with aliens. Somebody saw something. No idea. I'm skeptical about aliens. I believe in aliens, but I don't believe in aliens how everybody else believes in aliens. But it's weird. And Dee Dee said, I went down the rabbit hole of the kids and they lived a different life. It's weird. Like right now, I even told myself, when I started this show, I knew where I was going. I knew where my brain's going to go. How much fear is going to be brought into my life because of doing this shit. And I understand that. That's what I took on. And, bringing everybody with me to get down in this rabbit hole, it takes a toll on you, and it is really stressful because it's not about going out there and dealing with social media and this stuff. It's the background stuff that really stresses you out. And then going to these investigations that you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. You don't know if you're going to bring stuff back. Or even if you do bring stuff back. But dealing with stuff that you don't know is you can't prepare for it. Even if you have the Holy Bible in your hand and you have a crucifix and you're ready to go out there and be a paranormal event, like you're always going to be unprepared for any situation. But what matters the most is if you capture it and you get an answer, that's the main thing about it. Absolutely all about it. That's why we talk about it. You know, one of us go on an investigation and we get the fear taken out of us and we're just going out there. He's like, you know what? I got balls of steel and I'm going out there. Cool. The girl who lives in a Conjuring house is my favorite to watch. I don't believe anything in that Conjuring house is haunted. I think all that Ed and Lorraine bullshit is fake. 100%. I think Ed and Lorraine were the most skeptical people out there that made people think that what they were doing was real. I do not believe that, whatever. Once they touched the tip of being famous, dude, they shot through the roof and overblew it, and that's why they got a Conjuring movie. It's like there's a whole conspiracy about it, but that's just me though. That doesn't go for Andrew or Jacob. That just goes for me. I do not believe anything and everything about Ed and Lorraine whatsoever. Thank you so much for the rose. She doesn't say it's the same people they talk to, but there's definitely if they're spirits, cool. Like me and Andrew discussed before, I just don't believe spirits attach to objects. I don't believe in that. I think that is an absurd thing to say when it comes to that.
There's different ways to say it or think that it's attached, but yeah, it's definitely used as a conduit, not an attachment. It's a way to lure somebody in to attach it. So, if it's true.
Have I ever had any experiences out at land? Good evening, Heather.
Yeah, during the promo.
The what?
The promo with Cody.
Oh, yeah, dude. That was fucking crazy.
That we've been waiting for footage from.
That was fucking crazy. I need to get and he has that. So just
Good morning, Heather.
Oh, my God. So we're in Dr. Psychos, and I'll tell you this, Cap. We were in Dr. Psychos. I was shooting a promo for Land of Illusion. It was me, my cousin Cody, a guy named Michael, and then another guy named Michael, and then my two kids, and then a few more people. But anyways, in this room, in Dr. Psycho's lab, it was just us. Me, Michael Hammond, Cody on the camera, and Cook on the camera on a table. I was behind Michael Hammond pushing the wheelchair to give it the effect that he was rolling. It was an old wheelchair. Well, in this lab, there's a bunch of, are they called like beakers and shit that are called? Like glass beakers of basically where you can measure your fluids and shit and blah, blah. But anyways, there's probably like a few hundred on this table. And we were doing our thing. We took a few shots. Back and forth. All right, cut. Let's do a different one. Let's do a different way. Well, I placed Michael in front of the fireplace, and I found a really good shadow place where I can like duck down and push the wheelchair to make it seem like he was getting pushed by himself. So the cool thing is about this video is it's zoomed out a little bit so you can see the whole area. So I say 3, 2, 1, action. I pushed Michael, and all of a sudden I heard something fucking explode. Like glass everywhere. His reaction was priceless because that's what we ended up using for the promo, because that was just a natural, real, true fear of reactions. Exactly what I was trying to go for. And Michael Cook was like, I'm out, done, boom, because he's experienced a lot of stuff in Dr. Psychos. So we go over to the table to investigate, and there was glass everywhere. Glass just doesn't fucking explode for no reason. Unless it's heated up and placed in cold water. Or if somebody throws something. There were 4 people. I had my eyes on all of them, all right, because I was in front of the camera and I seen Michael and Cody. So nobody threw anything. So we go back home. I throw it on the screen. I zoom in and I push play. I'm watching. Stop. Rewind. Zoom in. Slow down. Brighten up the screen a little bit. Let's do it a little bit slower. 0.5 speed. As it's going, you see Michael getting pushed in a wheelchair. You don't see me. You see me a little bit, but not much. But only I could see it. But anyways, you see Michael getting pushed in a wheelchair. And you see this black thing fly right over top of him. And then right after the thing goes out of the screen, you hear the glass shatter. Weirdest fucking thing I've ever experienced. No idea what happened. Still to this day, I have no idea what happened. But it fucking scared the hell out of us and we got out immediately. No idea. I wish I can find that video, and I know he has it, and I think I have it somewhere, but I don't know where the hell it's at. But that's the only experience I can tell you that's happened at Land of Illusion. Now, I thought I've seen things at Land, but again, working in a haunted house and dealing with thousands of people a night, it's hard to say what I see. That's the only house in the park I won't work in. I will absolutely work in there. In 2014, there was a young girl, 14 years old, that collapsed and died in the ramps because she had a heart condition. She ended up dying. And a lot of people say, well, I see this little girl roaming through the house. No, you don't, dude. No, dude, it was a messed up thing. She knew she had a heart condition. It wasn't Land of Illusion's fault whatsoever. She had heart problems, and she collapsed, and she died. Very, very tragic story. There's been other incidents that happened where people have died at Land of Illusion, but I won't bring that up because you guys can Google it. Because it's not my business. But when it comes to stuff like that, you just stay away from it. 100%. If you feel uncomfortable, fuck off immediately. You're either dealing with something very, very bad, or you're dealing with demons, or you're dealing with something that you just don't want to mess with it. Go away. Sarah said, you have to ask Dad. The little room in the attic is the place we don't go. Yeah, the attic's not that bad. I've been in the attic where Grandma is plenty of times, and I've never felt anything. But the only place where I felt something was in that lab and in that fucking basement. It is not a good place to go. It doesn't feel right. I won't go in there by myself. I don't care about it. I just don't deal with it. But my number one place that I will not go, and this is not just Land, I don't go in the woods at night. It's like, I don't do that. What about you, Andrew? Where would you not go? Realistically. You just like, no, I'm not doing that. I won't go in the woods. Not just a patch of woods. I mean a fucking forest. I'm not going in there.
I'll be honest with you, cornfield.
What about you, Jacob?
I was just gonna comment on what you said. I go into there's this there's a nursing home at the end of our street, and kind of behind it there's I wouldn't say a forest, but I'd say a good couple 100 acres of forest back there. I used to go back there early or late at night with all my buddies all the time. We'd just go back there and fuck around.
But you don't know what's watching you.
You don't.
That's a scary thing. Why cornfields, Andrew? Children of the corn?
Well, not really. It's we're from Ohio, so that's pretty much all we got up here is corn. And driving up north last weekend to that jail, dude, it was such a beautiful scenery with all the flatland, and then you get into the deep, deep, deep country up there, and it's nothing but thick grain corn, and it's so thick you can't see through it. Woods, I can deal with woods.
What's up, Beth?
Corn, I don't. Nah, Jeepers Creepers and Children of the Corn have pretty much fucked me up. I mean, Jeepers Creepers, when he's sitting there on the scarecrow and he jumps down. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one, because there's been a few times where I'll be out in the middle of nowhere, like kind of driving near cornfields, and I always get the feeling that something's gonna jump out of the cornfield. Like I always get like a weird feeling around them.
I'm okay with it. Dude, I'm the type of person I'll get out in the middle of the night and see what's out there. I'll just go check it out. Fuck yeah. But you tell me to get in some woods, dude, I'm not doing it. One, you'll get lost really easily. If you guys ever seen the old Blair Witches and the new Blair Witch, I'm not getting stuck in a loop, my guy.
I like that stuff.
That's terrifying.
I'd rather get stuck in a loop in the woods than a cornfield. Cornfield, you're not going to be able to see if there's a coyote or any kind of dangerous animal because of how thick it is. Woods, you can.
Yeah.
No.
So I just, yeah.
Motherfuckers, have you heard of the Wendigo?
Yeah.
The Wendigo?
The Wendigo.
No, thank you. Dude, that's a different story to talk about. But that creature itself is terrifying.
I've never heard of it. Hold on, let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, you Google that, man. That's the Wendigo, man. And then they're talking about in chat right now, talking about the reformatory. Dude, I've been to the reformatory fucking plenty of times. And just recently, last year, I had 6 people with me, and it was just a normal, because the tour itself is just you free room wherever you want, and it was just us in the whole prison. And I had my phone on record, trying to push these spirits into my phone. I was dogging them so hard. There's a cell in like the 3rd block or something, and I was like, and then supposedly this guy burnt and set the cell on fire and killed himself. I went in there talking so much shit. I said, boy, I hope it hurt you. I was just dogging this dude. Nothing. I didn't get shit. For 3 hours on my voice recorded phone, dude, I didn't hear nothing. I didn't feel nothing terrible. Nothing. Don't get me wrong. The place is beautiful.
I kind of get what you're saying now. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, the Wendigo man is that's what I basically base my my Mortis character at the haunt off the Wendigo. Yeah, you look into that, man. Because it's a scary story. I just don't go in the woods. That's one of the main reasons why I don't go in the woods, but I don't.
You don't want to go in the woods?
No.
Look, he wants to hug you.
Yeah. Well, he looks fine. He looks like he's human.
Yeah,
that's human. That's
he just plays guitar.
Yeah, that's fucking Zach Wild.
Yeah, but look, what if he wanted a hug? You don't want to hug that?
I need to know if. Oh fuck yeah, I've seen Tiger King. That's my show. Love Tiger King. Can't wait until he gets out. But yeah, man, that's
is the one with Zach Bacon.
Yeah, The Ritual, man. That show. You need to watch that movie, Jacob. It's called The Ritual. It's a weird fucking movie, but it's basically the concept of a Wendigo in this creature, man.
What's it on?
It's on. I think it's on Netflix or Hulu. One of those two.
Okay.
Woof.
You said The Ritual?
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
No, the Ghost Adventures episode. I do not watch Ghost Adventures. I can't.
Dude, I used to watch the fuck out of Ghost Adventures like a few years ago. Like back when I was in like 8th, 9th grade, I used to like, binge watch it, dude.
I used to, because I was all about like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, and stuff. But when it came to him being as cheesy as he is on the camera, I can't, because he's always like, I'm gonna fucking fight this ghost. Let's go. Yeah. It's like, bro, calm down.
With a mask on his face.
Yeah, bro, calm down.
Nobody else in the group has a mask on. It's like, you guys can die. I'm not.
Yeah, it's just like, bro, I'm like Sarah, dude. I just can't handle him, man.
I love Ghost Adventures. It's way better than Ghost Hunters.
I actually somewhat disagree and somewhat agree with that, but I do not like Ghost Adventures. Not like Ghost Theory, 100%, but I like what they do. They don't go out there to do go out in paranormal. They just go to abandoned houses and they come across the paranormal and stuff. But what they do is really cool and really real. It's real. It's real shit.
I like the stuff. I like the places that Ghost Adventures actually visits.
Yeah, I like the way they visit, but I just don't like the way they investigate. Do not like it. But again, that's what Hollywood does to you guys. Once you get that tip
he's
of
made
the...
way too much money, and he's just like, it's going to my head.
That's like the Chris Angel of Ghost Hunters, guys. Have you ever watched Paranormal Research Society? No, I have not. Mortis, are you listening? I don't know. I don't know if I'm listening. I don't know how to listen. Trying to think. Guys, do you have anything else before we tap out on this show?
Nope.
Andrew?
No.
Okay. Well, to clarify with everybody, next week's episode, haven't really picked...
All right, yeah. That guy's worse than Zach.
What?
Ryan Buell,
I don't even know who that is.
the investigator for Paranormal Research Society.
Oh. Please watch Ghost Adventures Tiger King before next time. Okay. I'll give it a shot. I will give it a shot. Because I have HBO Max. I can watch them. Next episode, we're going to choose a different state. Don't know a state yet. So, I'm thinking Alaska. Let's do Alaska. It'll probably be another 3-parter. Maybe a 2-parter, depending on how far we go to it. So, Alaska is known for...
There's a lot
of scary stuff.
We could just start with, the daylight, nighttime theory.
Vampires.
What was that? 28 days?
No, that was
38
30 nights of 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when the vampire is like, there is no God. I love that movie. But yeah, so shit like that. We'll touch base into the vampires and the ghosts and the mythical creatures and then their urban legends of Alaska, which are a shit ton. So next week's episode is lovely Alaska, everybody. Alaska. Don't know anything. Huh?
What shift are you on?
I'm off all weekend because I took vacation.
Okay.
So typically probably around 10:30, 11 o'clock is when we'll go live. And it'll be on Saturday. If that's cool with you, Jacob. Cool. So next Saturday around 11 p.m. Eastern time, we'll go live. And then we'll see where we go. But other than that, guys, for the people that stayed in this whole episode tonight of an hour and 32 minutes, appreciate you. This is our longest episode yet. We thank you so much for the gifts. Appreciate you guys just staying in, commenting, and giving us ideas and talking and just listening to us rant. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys and for the people that are listening to the show on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all the other major platforms. Guys, go check us out on Spotify. Give us a follow and give us a little review and tell us how we're doing. Go to Instagram, give us a follow, and we'll give you a follow back. And also on TikTok, give us a follow, and we'll follow you right back. But with that, I think that's it, fellas. Guys, this is the 13th podcast. And again, we're here to just try to get the story straight and just be as real as we can. This is our opinions. We're not speaking for anybody else. This is our opinions, 100%. So if you don't like what we're saying, that's just, we are who we are. But other than that, this Mortis, Jacob, Andrew, and Corey's over here. Got anything to say, Corey? Alrighty then. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a great night, and don't forget to stay spooky. And don't forget, guys, it's not fun if it's not scary. And the fucking intro didn't work. There it goes.
We found parts of the bodies all over the house, in places you wouldn't think. A funny thing is the heads have never been found. Hands and feet and things like that. But no heads.